Hey everybody, I hope you guys are having a wonderful day so far. I have to change my intro here because Matthew McConaughey has actually trademarked the all right, and I do not want to get sued. So we're gonna figure something else out that I can start off the stream with that. Hey Pensy, how's it going? So what we're going to be doing is we of course are going to be working more on my VGen commissions that I have. I have this one, then I have one more in the works after this. This one is for Rainbow Dog. Vegeta, get out from under, get away from my computer. Sorry, my cat was attacking my computer. Uh, from Rainbow Dog, aka Carla. She's an animator and an illustrator. She's also a Twitch streamer, so make sure you guys check her out as well. So let me go ahead and pop on over. All right, as you guys can see, I have done some work in between from the last stream. Vegeta, get away from my computer. Sorry, I'm trying to make sure my cat doesn't like disconnect me from stream. He's like losing his little kitty mind right now. Anyway, so I started the shading, of course, on the character, some of the lighting. Uh, I rendered some of the mid ground right here. Oh no, Alex is also streaming at the same time? Damn. All right, I'm gonna have to figure out. I'm gonna have to coordinate with him and see when he streams so I can. Uh, I gotta. Sorry, he's cat is still going nuts. You can watch whoever you want, Pensy. I have no hard feelings whatsoever if you decide to watch Alex. But yeah, I'll have to figure out Alex's schedule and damn, he goes for a long time too, huh? I don't know. We'll figure it out. I feel bad because I want to hit his streams too to support him as well. But yeah, so I did like a mid ground here. Uh, I tried not to render it too much because it's mostly covered. I did kind of go a little crazy with this bottle over here because it was fun. But then I realized that it was going to be covered once the character was up. So we're just going to continue working on this right now. I'm just carving out where the light is from the shadow here. I think it's looking pretty cool so far, so I'm pretty happy with that. Gotta remember exactly where I was working on it. I think it was down in this area is where I needed it to carve out a little bit of light, not a whole lot, because I don't feel like the light's hitting too much down here. But we're just gonna do like some subtle. So I'm gonna use my airbrush to erase away down here. You know, just so we have a little bit of the form like defined. Man, Alex is a streaming machine now that he is he's gotten rolling. That's awesome. I wish him all the success. I'm sure it's going to be amazing. Again, the art spaces should not be considered a competitive space. It should be, you know, a place where you can support each other. So, and he's a good friend of mine. So, he's a close personal friend if you know the reference. Alex for president of Power and Water. Totally different movie, but that's okay. Also, an old reference. Scriptures from the ancient Anarchy here. Vegeta totally has the zoomies. 100,000% zoomies. He's like Sonic. Let's get a little bit of some shadow here from the skull belt, which I'm also a fan of that she put on her OC. Makes me want more of Love After World Domination. If you guys haven't seen that anime, I highly suggest checking it out. Even though I don't think there's going to be another season anytime soon, if there is ever one, that makes me sad because it's so good. It's basically like if the Red Power Ranger fell in love with like, kind of like, not quite Rita Repulsa, but like maybe one of the slightly lower monster people like Goldar or something. Oh, how I do my signature on my art, I can show you real quick. So what I do is I make a new layer, right? I go over to my lasso tool, I select the rectangle, and I make like a rectangle like this. And then, you know, I kind of look at like the color of where it is on my image. So this is mostly purple here. So I probably grab like a greenish color. Something like this. I fill it. If it'll let me. Oh, wait, I gotta put it up higher. So you want to make sure it's on top of your image, of course. And then I unselect it. I grab my mapping pen and I change it to transparency. And then I do my signature, right? So, you know, we'll just do it like real basic here. Say 01 and then, you know, 26. And then what I usually do is I change the blending mode. So I'll change it to something like maybe like exclusion or difference, or actually divide might work a little bit better. You know, something like that. Then I go to the layer opacity and I turn it like way down, like down to like 20% or less, probably more like 15. And I duplicate that and I give it a tiny little bit of a blur. And then, you know, what I usually do is from there, I'll grab like the layers and I'll just try to find somewhere on the image where, one, it's not like too distracting, but I need to put it somewhere where it's hard to like remove. Like if somebody was like trying to steal my work. So if I put it like up here in the hair, they would have to cut out like some of the details in order to like steal it. You don't have to do all these other crazy steps if you don't want to. You can literally just make a layer with a square, put your signature in it, lower the opacity till it's like barely visible. Like, you know, something like maybe like that. And then just stick it somewhere over top of like your artwork where it's hard for them to get rid of it. I know that was like a lot of steps, but basically the last thing I said, just make like a layer, make a rectangle, put your signature in it, lower the opacity, put it over details on your picture, and you're good. We just want to prevent like art theft as much as possible, so especially with like AI or something. Oh, you're welcome. I'm here to help you with whatever you need, man. Anytime. It's actually kind of nice to be almost like a mentor type. I'm here to help everybody improve, so just gonna do this a little bit, just real subtle on the belt loop. Might do a little tiny bit of definition here on the hair. I think it'll help. Just make sure it doesn't look flat. You're welcome. I'm totally cool with being a senpai. I'm your art Aniki. That's just what my whole deal is. That's what I'm here for. Even though I'm less like a brother and more like your cool uncle. The one uncle that you actually like. Yeah, has a little bit more depth to it now. Oh yeah, I gotta finish the line work now that I changed where the hair was there, so let me go ahead and do that real fast before I forget, because I will. I had to figure out how to make it look like she was putting her actual hand on the desk here, so what I did is I used my lasso tool to fill in the shapes of the hair. Now I just gonna add a little bit of line work over it. And I don't have to have this be like super accurate, just like a little bit more of like a, maybe some little bit of outline here and there. You know, it's funny because I thought that this was a Thriller cover because it kind of sounds like it, but it's just got like some similar lyrics. I was just thinking, I've never known all the lyrics to Thriller. Oh, it's from Scooby Doo. Okay, that makes sense. I just heard the song. And I was like, oh, I like this, but I thought it was like just like a like Thriller and like a different like genre. So now that I'm educated, I know that that song is from Scooby Doo. Good job, Scooby Doo, for having a dope song. I don't think I haven't really watched the Scooby Doo movies. I was never really like a fan of Scooby Doo. Like even growing up, I was kind of like, well, this is the same episode over and over again. Not to say there's anything wrong with liking Scooby Doo. It just like wasn't my thing, you know. In the same vein, I also used to watch like Power Rangers, which was the same episode over and over again. So I guess it's kind of hypocritical for me to not like it because of that. Zombie Island. Okay. Maybe one of these days I'll check it out. Maybe I'll suddenly become a Scoob fan. I got tired of my art playlist playing the same songs all the time, so I put like the mix on, so that's what's playing now. So hopefully it hits all bangers. Oh yeah, I used to go out in the front yard and like play Power Rangers and like Ninja Turtles and stuff with like my friends. Okay, we would just beat the hell out of each other. It was fun though. Child concussions and whatnot aside. We went through like a big like when it was still called WWF like wrestling phase, like me and my friends. So we would find people in the neighborhood that actually owned trampolines, and we would sneak into there and have like wrestling matches on their trampolines, and then scurry away when they came home. Scatter. I don't really need to put all this detail here, but I have had some Adderall today, so I am extra onicky today. I'm like turbo onicky right now. Everything is exciting. Like normally I just take my Vyvanse, but I'm like currently out of it right now. But I notice every time I have Adderall, I finish like massive projects in like a day. Oh yeah, I'm super excited. I saw like a bunch of new people join the art share. I'm gonna do a I'm gonna retweet it again today just to make sure that everybody gets a chance to get in there. It kind of sucks though because I'm a little worried about like the whole like grok thing with like the art share, but I don't really know what to do about that. I don't want anybody's artwork getting like manipulated. Now, if somebody wants to take and hit the edit image button on mine and just say Art Aniki is the best artist ever on it with like some text, that's fine. I'll take that. But otherwise, you get your filthy mitts off my artwork. Your sticky Mountain Dew hands. I need to learn how to do how to work on Blue Sky a little bit better. The whole having like different like categories and stuff is like I don't know, it's just weird. It's different to me. It's different. Oh no. I need to adapt and change. The party has officially begun. The demon lord of party time has arrived. I love this band. They're so weird. Called the Dillinger Escape Plan. Thanks. You're not totally biased or anything. Whatsoever. Thank you, Pensy. I try. I try my best. And that's all you can do. And if somebody doesn't like it, well, they can choke on it. Of course, people are also entitled to their opinion, but they can also be wrong. And that might sound like cocky or arrogant, but you know what? You should be proud of the work you do. Otherwise, what's the point, right? Oh, excuse me. I blinked. Yeah, the return of the Demon Lord to the streaming. Why? What the heck? Why did Steam just come up? Go away.
No. Come on now.
Sorry about that, guys. Got jump scared there by Steam. What band is this? Oh, it's Paramore. I knew it sounded familiar. Ooh, speaking of games, I am still so obsessed with Final Fantasy. It is so good. I'm in Cosmo Canyon now, which is like one of my favorite like areas from like the original game. And they've like added more storyline to it, so I'm just like, yes, inject it into my veins. I need this in my life all the time. I'm super excited because instead of doing DLC for Rebirth, they are concentrating on getting the third one out, the final game. So be super cool if I got to play it like extra soon. Trying to beat Sephiroth's bitch ass. Being all smug because he's pretty. The prettiest princess in the land. I could probably just beat him with Yo Mama jokes, though. No physical altercation needed. Oh, yeah. No, I definitely enjoy it. Like, it's like I love the original, but this is just so much more and so much. I mean, it's hard to compare the two because they are like, yes, they're essentially the same storyline, but it's like the mediums are just so different that it's difficult to say. Like, if I had to say I had a preference between the two, it would definitely be the new ones. But that's just because they were able to do just like so much more with like the world, the NPCs, like, there's so much to do. So it's not really a fair comparison. Comparing like modern day like capabilities to like PS1 capabilities is not really fair. Yeah, it's a lot more money too. For sure. I think it's worth every penny though. That's my personal opinion. Saw that like Square Enix had like totally like ridiculous expectations for sales. They're like, "Oh my god, we haven't sold 3 million copies." And it's like, dude, are you serious? Also, release like more merch stuff. I'll buy that shit. When I have my house in Japan, I'll just fill it up with like some Final Fantasy stuff. Well, not the whole thing, but a room. I should probably save. Ooh, I gotta take off my robe. I'm getting hot and smoking in here. Getting sweaty. Let's see. Let's see what this gives me. Alright, I'll take Mastodon. That'll get me moving. Man, R.I.P. Hank. He was such a good guitarist and vocalist. But again, it's also another reason why I won't ride motorcycles. It's just so dangerous if someone hits you. I mean, I'm sure they're like a load of fun, but I need to stick around so I can do art forever. Of course, being in a band like this, I don't. It's like almost like required that you ride a motorcycle. Ooh, nice. Hell yeah. So I think one of the best advice I can give you too for digital art is it gives you like a really good opportunity to focus more on shapes and silhouettes. So I wouldn't focus too much on detail to begin with. Just see if you can, draw something and uh, like zoom out. If it still looks like, kind of like what you're going for, that's a good thing to practice. Is I'm right now I'm doing like a ton of detail because like I'm hopped up on Adderall, but I don't really need to. Like I could have left this just like flat like color and it would have been fine because most people are going to be looking this at this on their phone and they're not going to be like zooming in and like looking at every single detail. Like I know there are people that do that, but you got to think of it also kind of like, with traditional art with like a painting, like a lot of paintings look like super good and super realistic from a distance. And then you get up on them and you're like, oh, this is actually like way more loose and messy than I thought. But because you looked at it at like it was posted the optimal viewing distance to look at it, then it looks just fine. But you can see as I keep like zooming in and out, like if we look at it from like the whole thing, like all that detail doesn't really show, but it just bothers my tisms not to do it. Oops, an eraser. Just trying to make this look like that it is being affected by the shape of the desk. You know, just so it looks like an effective like surface. And the hair would kind of like pull up a little bit as it lays on the flat part. Almost like a liquid, kind of. That's another cool thing about artwork is like, you know, you don't always have to think of different parts as exactly how they are in real life, especially with like stylization. If you can think of something like the way it flows that helps you with like how it looks and it's not exactly the same type of material, there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. You come up with like really cool stuff. You know, generally I try to think of like hair as like ribbons. That way you're not drawing like every single strand of hair. But there are, like I said, like times where it almost feels like a liquid with the way it like disperses over a surface. Or like, you know, if you were to like plop some spaghetti noodles on a table. Like observation is a huge part of like artwork. I feel like people um don't practice enough. You know, if you're having like an off day where you just can't draw, just try to like kind of like observe things like around you, or if you're like, say if you're watching like a show, or if you're watching, you know, like a like anime or something, like try to take your art knowledge and kind of like see why things look the way they do or the way they behave. Like I have a bad habit of doing it with people, and then they're like, "Why are you looking at me like that?" And I'm just like, "Oh, I was just looking at the way that like the light like, you know, fell on your face shape." And then they're like, "You're fucking weird." I'm like, "I know." It's okay, because now I could draw you if I wanted to, or I could use, you know, that mental library of how that light was affected on a character if I wanted to. Especially people with like really unique features. Alright, I'm going to lighten some of these lines up like I did before, because I think that looks nice. There we go. Oh no, it's okay. Alright, so that's good. Let me see what else I have to do here on the shadow layer I was working on. I definitely bounce around a lot more on like my image, you know, when I'm like really like hyper excited. Oh, also good advice, Pensy. Use the lasso tool. You see how I'm doing this, where I'm like carving out like the shapes in the hair where the light's gonna hit. The lasso tool is like your absolute best friend, like in digital art. Like you could do a whole like piece just using the lasso tool if you wanted to. And a lot of people do, like concept artists do. They use the lasso tool to do like the entire image a lot of the times, which is crazy. But it looks really good. Like I actually stopped thinking about shadows from uh, like an individual perspective. So now what I do is I fill the whole image with the shadow, and then I carve away where the light would hit. And that has made such like an improvement, and it's also saved me a bunch of time because I'm not like having to sit here like be detail oriented with every little shadow. Put a little bit of light here in the mouth just to have. Just gonna do super, super subtle. There we go. I think that might be good for this shadow layer. Alright, I'm gonna lower it. Build it back up again. Alright, now I can concentrate on putting some like actual cast shadows. You know, basically where the light is being like blocked. So like in here with like the hair, like on the bangs. I don't really have a reference for this, but that's okay. Of course, if you're like super unsure whether it's going to look good or not, then definitely use a reference. But I think I do pretty good, like just thinking about it. I think it's convincing enough. And like where it gets farther away from the light source, you want to blur it out a little bit. Fill in here. And then we're gonna continue it like this. Just kind of mimicking the shape of the bangs, because they're gonna get a little distorted anyway. You do have to be a little bit careful with digital art with like sometimes like how hard you press. You're supposed to change your pen nibs pretty often so you don't scratch your surface. I'll actually probably take the next batch of commission money and probably buy some more pen nibs because I haven't done that in a while and I'm sure mine's probably sharp right now. I don't want to scratch it because you know when you're going across like details and stuff like that, if you hit like a part where you scratch the surface, it's gonna cause your pen to like skip around. And you don't want that because it'll be there permanently and it'll be difficult to maneuver around. I mean, it's okay to have like a, you know, whatever pen pressure you like to apply to it, because you can adjust the sensitivity. Like certain things I push really hard, like say when I'm using the lasso tool, I push pretty hard so I can keep the line like nice and steady and crisp. But you know, you don't always have to do that. It just depends on you know, whatever you're comfortable with. I mean, granted, if you do scratch your screen, it's not the end of the world. You can work around it, especially since you can zoom in and move around like the image. But it's just something good to be like conscious of is like switching out your pen nibs at least every couple months. You know, just kind of look at the tip of them and be like, you know, kind of poke it with your finger. And if it's a little sharp, they probably need to be replaced. Actually, I just need this to kind of follow this. Got to remember I'm doing cast shadows, not details, so this is kind of where like the hair is like whipping out a little bit. It's causing like a curve, like a hood, where the light's blocked a little bit. And let's get some blur away from the light source, so about there. And then of course you're gonna have some shadows just from like the form too a little bit. Like this whole thing is gonna be down there in shadow. Oops. But let's go ahead and do this upper part first. And some of the shoulder is going to cause some shadow. So do that. There, we'll blur this out a little bit. And then this area is going to have quite a bit of, I gotta zoom out. That, because that's the inner part of the hair, so it needs to block the light there. up there. I think what we're going to do is we're actually going to block this whole area down here. And then across here. Just a little bit of some darker shadow here and there for definition. A little bit here. A little bit in here, so this is more consistent. Actually, let's kind of lighten it up a little bit here. Oh, I see. Okay. That's fine. I'm just going to blur across there and a little bit in here. Alright, let's get the shadow from the wrist stuff here. And now we gotta do where the hair is blocking things. That's good. Let's see. Where else can we do this? And I feel like the hair is going to be blocking the ear. I'm going to bring it out a little bit with the way the light source is going. Oops. And then we're going to give that a bit of a blur. And I kind of want to do one across the crest here, just so we get that there's some depth there. not mean to do that. This is a pretty deep spot, so we'll fill that in. And then I also want to get where, if any of the hairs are overlapping, give it some depth. Whole line. Try not to go too crazy with this. Like there's some areas that might need a little bit more, like crease here. I've kind of noticed that the more shadows that you do on like the face, it kind of makes it ages the character, so I don't want to put too many. Even if like there would be shadows there, it's like gotta be careful. And I think I'll do some here in the nostril so that doesn't disappear. Oops, wrong layer. Blur it a little bit. Might actually do that a little darker here. Maybe not. We'll just keep it stylized like that. That's fine. Alright, so definitely need shadows from this hair piece. This will be in shadow. Now let's continue this hair. I feel like that's probably all going to be shadow. Here maybe. We're going to do a little bit here just to show that it's over. It's like wrapped around the hand here. Again, I'm just trying to hit the areas where like the hair is overlapping and casting a shadow on the hand too. I used to, what I normally actually do is I normally do these on each individual layer, but I am thinking that this might be like way more efficient for making it all more cohesive, doing all the shadow work and everything and the light work over top of everything. Just gotta make sure I don't overdo it. Famous last words for Montague, right? Don't overdo this. Overdoes it immediately. All this area under here, I think would be in shadow. And again, this is just like from my observations of like what I've seen from the way light behaves. You know, if you think of things as like a 3D shape, and this light source is kind of like angled from below, so like, you know, a lot of people would just follow the exact curvature of this finger. You want to bring it out a little bit more because the way that it's like angled. Now we're going to blur it a little bit because it's getting farther away from the light source. And the head is still going to cast a shadow even at this angle. So we're going to kind of fill under here so we get some separation. The game that came out that I was thinking of getting is apparently bad. What game is that? Oh, yeah, yeah. I saw like a YouTube video talking about that, and I was gonna watch it just to see, like, you know, what went wrong. Like, I always try to watch those things. Like, if a game, like, completely, like, bombs for whatever reason, I always want to figure out, like, why. Because sometimes it's not, sometimes it's just people, like, being, like, shitty online. It's not always that the game is actually bad. A lot of people are like really really spoiled when it comes to games, and they like expect like way too much sometimes. Like my main criteria for like a good game is if like I actually give a damn about the story and the characters. Like if a character dies and I actually care, like that's a pretty good game. 30% on everywhere. I would probably just I would watch some YouTube videos just to see what people are saying, if they have any videos that have like showing like actual gameplay. Because like I said, like sometimes it's just people just being like real picky about things, but it's always good to do your like research if it was something you were interested in. God damn. I mean, those ratings are pretty low, so I don't know. I'm like extra curious to find out why it's so bad now. I'll have to watch. I'll have to watch a video about it and see what's going on. Was it a AAA game or was it like a more indie type game? I feel like I didn't hear much about it though until recently. Yeah, I mean, you got to be careful with your money now, like, because games are so expensive. You got to make sure they're definitely worth it to buy. Especially if a game's like anywhere over like I would even say like $30. It's like you better be damn sure that it's like worth it. It's more like an indie game. Okay. Well, the reason why I ask is like because I know a lot of like AAA studios have just been like cranking out like garbage and then charging like a ton of money for it. Yeah. I would either give it some time or, like I said, just do some research. You could wait till it's on like super sale. That way, even if it's a stinker, it doesn't really matter as much. Oh, wow. That's really bad. You could also wait and see if they do any changes based on the backlash. Because they'll do that sometimes where, like, they get enough, like, backlash where they're like, all right, let's, uh, let's lock the fuck in and actually make this good. Even though we should have done that to begin with. It is very possible and it does happen, so. They're like, my bad, we lost our minds for a second there. Oh, man. That's not a good sign that they've already pushed it back a ton and it's still getting, like, really bad reviews. I don't know about that one, Pensy. I would hate for you to, like, get scammed out of your money, so. Yeah, definitely save up for that because I know one it'll be a much like higher quality game, and two it's something that you're really excited about and you really enjoy that series. So I feel like that's your better bet. Like I've got so many games to play now that I'm so excited about, like because of the winter sale. My problem is I really like RPGs and they're all fucking long as hell. I also like to snoop around for every single little detail in the game, so that like puts my play clock like way the hell up. Like I've already put over 90 hours into like Rebirth. Oh yeah, I really hope that they definitely need to bring Jill back. Did Barry actually ever die in any of the games? Like really die? Because I know like with certain endings in like the original, you could save Barry. I mean, how are we gonna have like classic lines like "You were almost a Jill sandwich" without Barry? Not to mention Jill is hot as shit. They made her like super hot for a video game character. I'm like, what the hell? Where did this come from? God damn. Actually, let's bring it more like this. It's probably a better shadow line. A little bit of definition between the shoulder there. Sure, that's not 100% correct on anatomy either, but I think it'll be okay. Let's see, so I need a shadow cast from the arm here going this way. And I need a little bit of separation here. It's going to cover up that ear shadow, but that's okay. It'll blend into it, which is fine. Getting there. No, I actually haven't. Well, I take that back. A long time ago, I tried to play it, and like I said, when I was younger, I used to just kind of give up on games like super easy. So I think I had it when because it was on PS2, right? Like originally, like the older ones. Yo, Cheetah Man. Hey, Vegeta, you just get away from my computer. What's up, dude? The hype man has returned. Glad you can make it, dude. And let's reinforce this like elbow shadow here. I'll just kind of blur it out a little bit. There we go. Hell yeah, congratulations, dude. Yeah, it's like a night and day difference. It is such like it's crazy. Like, you know, if you're an artist and you even like remotely think that you might have ADHD, please go get checked because it will change your life once you get medicated. Like, you'll get so much work done. Oh, God damn. Holy shit, dude. Congrats. That's amazing. I'm proud of you, man. Oh my god, my cat is going insane. Actually, let me. Gotta get the Booba shadow. And blur it out a little bit this way. Oh man.
No, no.
Hey, you know what? Just take the little wins, man. Little wins are very important. I think that's a lot of people's like issues, like why they give up on art is because they make these like really like it's good to make goals, but don't make them like so like unobtainable that when you don't reach them because there's no way you would reach that goal in a short time. Like make smaller goals, make things that you can obtain, and it'll give you that dopamine you're missing. But yeah, just working on this commission from this is Rainbow Dog's OC here. I'm gonna put a shadow from the chair here. But we're gonna blur it because it's a good ways away. Like that. Oh damn. Thanks. Dude, I never get numbers like that on like social media. I'm not too worried about it, but it's like every now and then it would be nice to have something just like pop off. Like I think the most like likes I get on things on social media are only if I'm lucky like in the low hundreds. I don't know. Maybe I just don't interact enough on social media for people to see it. It certainly doesn't mean that the quality's bad, so it doesn't matter. I know when my artwork turns out to be a banger, so. And, people also just have different preferences, so. Yeah, I use 3D models as like a base, and you can like adjust like the proportions of the models, so I always try to make like the hips and but like very much a thing. It doesn't say anything about me whatsoever. It's so sad seeing these characters with like zero thickness to them. I know Daniel King will certainly agree with me there. Got to have that dumpy thickness. Makes the world go round. Oh, okay. I gotcha. I gotcha. I don't know. I got to figure out what exactly that not doing or what I am doing with like social media that like I don't have the reach that I would like. Um, because that's all it really takes is like the right group of people or the right person to like catch your just like one post and then it goes viral and then then people actually get to like see your work and get exposed to it. Like I said, never reflects really like the quality of your work. As long as you're happy with what you're doing, then just keep on rolling with it. No, no, I want to know who this goddess is, this Egyptian god is, so I can worship them because I can get behind that. That is an amazing philosophy. So they got it right. All right, let's dial these back a little bit. All right, nice. Go ahead and save. That's awesome. I like it. All right, I saw a kind of a cheap way to do this effect that I like to do, and I want to see if I can get it to work. So, we're gonna see if we can get this to work. Wait, I have to invert and do this, and then turn on the lines, red, and then let's bring them down. Down to 1, right? Then we're going to rasterize. And then brightness to opacity. That's actually quite a lot wider than I want. That sucks. Okay, so that didn't work. That's okay, we can delete that layer. We'll just have to do it manually. Oh, yeah. No, you can't go wrong with a hot goth girl. I mean, this is, if you can see up in my corner of my screen here, it's Rainbow Dog, aka Carla's goth girl OC. So this is a commission for her. But yeah, I mean, a lot of like I went to art school and stuff, so you're definitely gonna find a lot of like people that are either goth or some sort of like alternative based as far as like how they dress and like the things they're into and whatnot. Like my personal style has like clothing and whatnot has like changed a lot over the years, but like for a little while I would say I was like kind of goth. Like in the 90s, like the whole big giant like Jenko jeans were like a thing, and I had a chain wallet, and I used to wear chains around like my wrist and my neck. I had long hair down to my shoulders. And then, like, for several years of my life for Halloween, I had a trench coat, so I would go as the Crow for Halloween because I used to love that movie. So I think that makes me like that's a pretty good qualification for like a goth. I don't dress like that and stuff anymore, but there's nothing wrong with it. Oh wait, this needs to be inverted. Damn it. Delete. I got distracted talking about goths. Aw, that's super sweet. But true. Hey, that's exactly how you should be. You need to find somebody that, loves you for you. Alright, let me. Did I change it? I did change it. Okay, cool. Just find someone that's nice to you, someone that vibes with your interests and your humor. Obviously, if you find somebody and you're like, man, I think I like them, but then they hate everything that you like, that's not the one. You might be physically attracted to someone, like down bad, but if they just like are not into anything you're into, then you're gonna have a bad time. You can expect a nasty breakup. Not that there aren't like attractive people out there that, you know, have similar interests. It's just like definitely just make sure that, you have think about the time you spend with that person, like how much of it is in just like really enjoying being around them and it really excites you to be around them. Hey, that guy's a hero. 100%. Give him a freaking medal. Yeah, I love anime, I love music, I love video games, and if anybody says ew to that, then they can go suck it somewhere else. Speaking of which, Havoc and I just watched the Chainsaw Man movie last night, and that was hella dope. Speaking of the right person and the best person in the whole universe. Yeah, exactly. Definitely a red flag. I mean, it could be anything though. Like, whatever your interest is, if somebody like can't appreciate it like at all or even like try or at least be respectful about it, you know what I mean? Like they don't have to be 100% into it, but as long as they're not like degrading you and being like, "Oh, why do you like that shit?" and could you stop? Like that's not okay. Those people are allergic to fun. And what's cool about finding somebody that's also like really open and receptive to like your interests is like they have their own interests and you get to experience that through them. And like you get to grow and have like brand new interests that way. Like I got to learn a whole bunch of like really cool stuff about like various like magics and religions and just like really cool like occult information that also happened to like coincide with like the things I really liked about science. So it was like really exciting to like to learn about all this like new thing because I love to like explore and like learn new things. I feel like learning is incredibly like important regardless of whether it's in like a school environment or not. Yeah, it is a little slow at the beginning, but I don't know, I really like it. It just like really highlights the personalities of like the characters and stuff. So bring that down a little bit. Duplicates. Overlay. Let's do one more. Let's bring that down to like 20. Adonatology? I don't actually know what that one is. I've never heard of that one, but I'd be cool to find out. Does it have to do with Adonis or whatever? I can infer what it's about. Actually, let's change that to be a little darker. Actually, I left it that way. Oh my god, yeah, same. I really want to do Art of Rize. I know I'm like super late on that train, but I really liked her character. I mean, I do feel bad for him that he gets manipulated all the time. But I mean, dude's never had like any sort of education, so you can't fault him too much on that. And they worship butts? Oh, holy shit, that's awesome. Sign me up. Where do I go for that? Holy shit, that sounds amazing. I'm gonna have to look that up. I can get behind that one, pun intended. Oh, yeah. I don't always like super dumb characters, but I do really like Denji. Especially like Denji and Power together, just being like dumbasses is like amazing. lower the opacity on that. Make it a little more red, actually. It was a little too dark. Oh, yeah. That was pretty gross. Which sucked, because that girl was, like, also super, like, cool and cute. And then she did that. And I was like, aw, ruined immediately. It's like, come on, bro. Did you really have to put that in there? Alright, let's see. Let's do that. We're gonna select the inverse. Do hard light. Light from over here, and then got some streamer lights going on over here. So, like some different colors, just really lightly. Oh shit, a Ghostbusters cover. Oh no, it's got horns. That just ruined it. Why the fuck would you put horns in that? Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't think he, like... It's not like he picks it up and eats it. It's just, like, already there, so he kind of just swallows. Which is still really gross, but... You know... I love in the movie where he eats the flower. I'm just like, that's amazing. That is the funniest shit, and I've seen it in a while. I'm gonna put some warm colors around her face. Yeah, that whole scene in like the restaurant was that was a bit much. That was a little gross. I cannot lie that was pretty gross. No. Kind of reinforce these colors some more. Get some of like the glow going on there. Oops, it's not the color I wanted. More of an orange through here. down some of these colors around her. Especially away from the focal point. What is my most used word in my vocabulary? That's a tough one. That's a really difficult one for me to answer there. Oh man. Um. Hmm. Oh my god. I gotta think about that. Oh, oh my god. I don't know. I'm trying to think while I'm doing this. I mean, I definitely swear like way more than I should, but I wouldn't say that's my most used words in my vocabulary, so. Damn. Now that I'm on the spot, like my mind is like blanking. Shit. Let's see. Well, let me ask Havoc. That might help. What word do you think I use a lot in my regular vocabulary?
Gucci.
What?
Gucci.
Gucci?
Yeah, it's like a favorite word.
Havoc says that I use the word Gucci a lot to describe things, so we're gonna go with that. Because I don't know what else. And it's all because of that stupid meme where like Yusuke is like wearing like sunglasses and oh, you put it in my my word ban. Okay, okay. Well, shit. Now I can't even explain where it comes from. That's funny. Well, I'm glad I didn't say any swear words, because then I'd be shit out of luck. So, Cheetah Man's like, what kind of evil can I cook up over here, given the tools? That's funny. I appreciate you making things fun for me, though. I like it. It is a nice change of pace. Double stack it. Oh no. But yeah, you know what meme I'm talking about, right? where he's got the sunglasses on. It's either Yusuke or it's Giorno from JoJo. I've seen it with both. Ooh, Thai peanut sauce. Hell yeah. I mean, heck yeah. I don't know if you banned swear words yet, but I'm gonna say heck and heck yeah. Dude, I love Thai food so much. It's so good. I love Thai food. I love freaking Vietnamese food is also like super good. What goes well with peanut sauce? Well, definitely shrimp is really good with peanut sauce. Chicken's good with peanut sauce, of course. Even, I mean, you have a lot of options. Like pork is good with peanut sauce. Like, it's good on like almost everything. Think made the sauce by a scoop of peanut butter, milk in a pan with soy sauce, ginger, chili seasoning, and maple syrup. Hmm. I can't say I've ever made it like from scratch or anything, so I don't actually have any advice as far as that goes. Havoc is the one who knows how to cook and make sauces, so I do know how to make sauce for like salmon and like fish. That turns out pretty well, but I have to admit I just looked it up on the internet and then just kind of made my own like little variation. But it turns out pretty nice. I like it at least. Hey, you know what? You're thinking with portals, buddy. I don't know if you've ever played Portal or Portal 2, but J.K. Simmons approves. So, let's see, good science, good science, and see. Ooh, savory pancakes? That sounds good. I figure since the hair is like such a major part of this OC, I'm going to try to focus on making it like really interesting and cool. Add a bunch of like different colors in here. Also, she has like RGB streamer lights in here, so all the different like light refractions would like uh, show up on her silky smooth goth hair. So always add diced ham, scrambled eggs, and cheese with seasoning and spices in the batter. And then for the sauce, my go-to is soy sauce heated with honey, brown sugar, and butter as a dipping sauce. Interesting. I'll have to check that out at some point. It's kind of funny how many like different things you can add into like soy sauce and make like really cool like interesting variations of like flavor and whatnot. Oh yeah. I don't know. It's just kind of fun to add like a bunch of different colors into things, especially where you wouldn't normally think to put them. So just like artistic choices, you know. I've been learning to use like the overlay layer to do a lot of like not only color but like value like adjustments. So very useful. And it's like really subtle too, so you get like a lot of control out of it. I think that's what I really like about it the most. Like I found out a lot of those like really neat looking like Chinese art and artists use a lot of the overlay layer, using it as like a value control thing, along with like putting like kind of more desaturated grays in different areas to kind of like, because if you put gray near like a local color, it actually makes that local color stand out a little bit more. So that's kind of like a neat little trick too. I don't know. They go hard, like figuring things out. Granted, some of it does look very similar. You can definitely tell when someone's gone to like the same school or have like the same train of thought as far as like artwork goes. But that doesn't always necessarily mean it's bad. It's just very distinct, I guess. This is always the funnest part of an artwork for me is coloring and rendering. So, oh, not yet. So she has a Steam Deck now. So what we're trying to do is figure out how to stream from that, because she was streaming from like a laptop, but it wasn't a very good one. So she had to stop because it was just it was so rough. Um, but we got her a Steam Deck OLED, and it's been like a massive like upgrade for her. So we're just trying to figure out exactly, because we still want to use the laptop to do part of like the streaming. That way the Steam Deck isn't like doing all the work, and that way it can like perform 100% with like the games, or whatever she's doing, whatever program she's running. Try not to load it down, because like a lot of people do that where they have more than one PC. They have like a PC that specifically handles like the stream load, and then they have of course like their gaming one and stuff like that. I don't do that because I don't have multiple PCs, but one day I will. I'll see how it works, because that'd be pretty cool to not have to worry about like the strain on my computer of like streaming it too. I don't know. It's just a new thing, so we gotta like look things up and experiment and see what works. Let's do that as a different color. Maybe. Ooh, that looks nice. Well, maybe not that saturated. Let's do... Trying to put like some darker tones like around some of the highlights to make them pop a little bit more. Of course, this isn't like the only rendering layer that I'm going to do for the hair. I found some other techniques that I really like. I'm just having fun. That's a little harsh up there, actually. So let's just dial it back a little bit. Well, maybe it's not that color. I think it's the color is the problem. Let me see if I can go back. No, I can't. Damn it. That's okay. We can instead... You can use a lighter value to kind of correct here a little bit. And then let's get like a similar purple. We'll kind of blend it back in together, so it's not so harsh. I think it's a little too harsh up here. There we go. I don't want to overdo it. Do like a skin tone a little bit in that area. Use code Oddity to get a whopping 500% off your next online order. He'll practically pay you. Come on down to Art Honeke's Art Emporium. We've got everything you need. Think want to take this area and I want to kind of bend it a little more this way. Just subtle. Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell exactly with Mr. Beast exactly like what's what. I mean, he does hang out with fucking like Logan Paul, and Logan Paul fucking sucks. The Paul brothers in general suck ass, so that's right. You heard me. I'm a middle-aged man. Maybe Jake will actually fight me. Middle-aged man with no professional record. I'm like prime. Prime target for that. Mm-hmm. Man, he's like the worst boxer I think I've ever seen. Other than the guy that fucking Andrew Tate lost to, which makes it even more funny that Andrew Tate, Captain, like, I'm an alpha, got his ass beat by a guy who can't even, like, throw a proper punch. That shit was so funny. I was like, oh my god, this is amazing. And he fucked him up good. Like, his face was, like, totally destroyed. I was like, oh shit. That's crazy. This guy sucks so bad. Of course, I don't want to be one of those creators that just like starts beef just to like get views. So, I'm just kidding. But that fight was awful. Like he deserves that anyway. So, ooh, yeah, this is looking super cool already. is this not really blurring what I just did? It's on the right layer, right? Yeah. That's weird. I don't know. That's weird. Oh well. I'll lighten up this area, I think. And I should probably put some darker values around the highlights so they pop more. Oops. It's doing the opposite of what I wanted. There we go. That's better. All right, this is probably a good time to take a break and wrap it up, because I know that I forget to eat and whatnot when I have Adderall, so I don't want to go flopping over on you guys. So let's put the whole thing on the screen here. So this is the progress we made. I'm pretty happy with it so far. I think it looks really, really neat. It looks really cool. I really hope that Rainbow Dog / Carla is super happy with how this turns out. And I'm also super grateful for anybody commissioning me on VGen. I just need one more commission and one review to get fully verified. That way I can offer everything as far as services, and I can actually get discoverable on the search bar. So if you're seeing this and you're thinking about a commission, you should hit up my VGen. It's under the same name, Art Aniki VT. Let's go ahead and let's throw you guys over in the lobby so we can wrap this up. I want to thank everybody so much for hanging out with me today. You guys are awesome. It's always a pleasure to have a good time with you guys and work on some artwork. If you like the kind of artwork I do, please follow me to see when I go live. If you love it, please consider subscribing. That would help me out tremendously. I will be back with the art stream tomorrow at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Until then, you guys have a great rest of your day and weekend, and I'll catch you tomorrow. Bye-bye.